Welcome to the Persuasion Pitch Podcast. I'm your host, Jess, licensed esthetician, makeup artist, and anti-MLM advocate. Hello, everyone. So I know that most of you have already listened to the episode, the story of Marron Parker. It was a listener story, and she went ahead and emailed me in her story. So I'm so excited to have this brave soul with me today. So, she's going to be on the episode today. So, and I have her right here. Marron Parker, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Like I told you before, my phone's blowing up right now because I've been going back and forth with an MLM rep because, her MLM is different. So... they all say that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Let me get back to I have some questions for you somewhere. Sure. All right. So you said that you were with Younique before you were with Limelife. And I guess it was. Was it Lime? Let's see. What was it? Limelight then, and they switched it to Limelife.
Yes, it was always Limelight when I was with them.
It was okay. All right. So,
yeah.
All right. So how long were you with Younique?
I was with them. I've looked at that, and I was with them for, I want to say it was 16 months.
Okay. All right. So over a year. That's
it was long enough.
Little bit. Yeah. So, when you were with them, did you see any of the same types of tactics that you saw with Limelife?
Sometimes I did. They were stranger in some ways. They did some things that were odd. They promoted they had it was a child abuse type foundation. Mm-hmm. And so they hid under that umbrella with their donations. They weren't so restrictive in how you presented yourself. So they are memes. They allowed you to create your own memes, and they allowed you to look any way that you looked. They were a brother-sister team, which was bizarre because at first when I went in, I thought they were married the way they behaved.
Right.
I honestly thought.
I noticed. I noticed that the sister, she doesn't, speak about the company as much as Derek does. And I did do an episode on Younique already, so I know that everyone's familiar with that. So
I was when I found out they were related and not married, I was like, oh, is this incestuous? I really was like, what the heck is going on here? And there were so many. When I started there, they had already been so oversaturated, and they had switched their mascara formulation, and it was just like the stuff was getting crappy. And you never had an issue with things being shipped to you, but the product itself was garbage. There was no pigment in what you got. And you just saw so many things going on with so many people. Everything was just garbage. It was just garbage coming at you from 20,000 directions.
Right.
And they were always producing something new.
Right.
And you always had things shoved at you. And you never had to pay for anything as far as like the website and stuff. But after I left, this was infuriating to me. I found out that they were still hosting a web page under my name and still emailing everybody that I had as a customer and saying I was still selling. And I sent them so many emails telling them, knock it off. And they would say, oh, we've removed your email address, but they were still sending them to me too. And I'm like, what about this false advertising are you not understanding? And it was just maddening. And they still had a website up selling stuff with my name and my image, saying, like as if I still had a quote store. And, so it was just like crazy stuff, saying, still promoting their foundation, as far as foundation as in that child abuse
the sexual
foundation.
assault. Yeah.
Yes. And it was like, I'm not supporting you anymore. Don't use my image. Don't use my name. And I was just some low life, like ant on their molehill kind of
Right.
person there. So when I fled, I was like, oh my God, it was awful. And their products just ravaged my face.
Yeah, and so in the episode, it's ironic you say that because the episode that I just recorded, I spoke about the Younique Foundation, and the company actually came before the foundation, and
Yeah.
I also spoke about the lawsuit that they had with the mascara because they were saying it was green teeth. They were like really big into their 3D
Oh,
mascara. That was like their thing,
yeah,
and they had a lawsuit because they said it was natural green, everything's natural, green tea
of course.
fibers. Yeah. But it
Yes.
was ground up nylon. So,
Yep.
people were getting eye infections. And
Yep.
whenever they come out with a new product, of course, you're going to have to purchase it because you need to do a live with it, a video with it.
Well, you know
Um,
what they were telling do you know what they told us to do behind the scenes to make that mascara pop?
what was that?
Before we went on a live or whatever, they wanted us to take a blow dryer and blow dry our eyelashes upward
Oh my gosh, I
while they
saw
were
a
dry.
video. I saw a video of someone doing that. I was like, what is she doing? What
Well, I
the
have
heck?
dry eyes. I have an autoimmune disorder called Sjogren's, and I have dry eye syndrome.
Hmm.
That was incredibly painful. It dried out my corneas even worse than they already are. So I was like frying my eyeballs
Oh my gosh,
for Younique. I'm like, thanks,
crazy.
guys. This is awesome. Yeah. And then meanwhile, like your eyelashes go straight up into the eye, into like your eyebrows, and you have to coat them so like 50 layers of this crap.
Hmm.
It was just garbage stuff.
Yeah, it is garbage. Definitely garbage. Um, so, I just want to thank you for sharing your story because I know that took a lot of strength. And I think it's amazing how you are raising awareness through your
Thanks.
experience. And another thing with that Younique Foundation, they prey upon the sexually abused. And
Yes,
that to me is just absolutely disgusting. But this was
it
before
is.
this happened to you, right? So this was
Yes.
okay. And then I guess now that like this happened to you, you can probably go back and look at that and be like, those MFers, like, how dare them?
Oh,
How
I
dare
know.
them do that? Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I just hate that so much. So how
It's
long go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. How how long were you with so you left Younique
Mhm.
because, and I said this in the episode,
Yeah.
someone said, hey, I'm going to this other company and you need to get in with me, this is the ground
Right.
floor. So
Right.
how long were you with Limelife?
I was with them, oh, wow, when I started going back through everything I'd saved throughout my experience with them, I was with them from 2017 through almost it was towards the end of 2019 when I had all of what I could take with them.
Hmm.
So it was almost 2 years, and the grooming that they did and the absolute setting you up, it was amazing what they did. They wanted you to learn everything about every single product from the minute you signed up with them, and just to sign up with them was so hella expensive. It was well over, it was almost $400 just to join, and so that was a mind-boggling experience. And you get this gifted box, and they want you to unbox online, and it was all tailored to what you have, and then they want you to have a big party and invite people. But on top of that, they had what they expected you to do was learn all the products, all the ingredients, and then they had corporate classes online you had to attend every night in groups, and then your upline had team meetings every night. So you had no life. And
Right.
as a mom and as somebody that worked all day, it was like, how am I getting stuff done at home? And they
Right.
didn't care. It was ridiculous.
And that's crazy and ironic because they say how easy it is to, you don't even have to have, a 9 to 5. You can work right from your phone. And, like, it's not, like, you would get, first of all, you would get paid. a heck of a lot more with a 9 to 5 and also have benefits.
Mm.
But
Right.
also you are working more than full time whenever you are in a multi-level marketing company without any
Right.
benefits. So all of those trainings that they asked you to attend, like you don't get paid for those. Like, you don't get,
No.
so
No.
yeah. So you're working for free,
Yeah.
so working
And
your
and if
business.
and they went through everybody in attendance, and if your name wasn't there, they actually reached out to you on Facebook and actually invited you online until they drew you in. They would sit there
Wow.
and slam you until you went in. It was ridiculous. They would call you out in a group, like online, in these meetings by name until you were in that group. I mean, it was like, oh, was that? And they would send you schedules by the month. I mean, it was ridiculous what these people did. But to sit there and watch and go through the list of people that they saw were there and not there, and then they would have other people in the team start sending out invites to you. So if I happened to miss one because I had a child that was my daughter was okay, she was 9. So if she had something I needed to help her with homework and I happened to miss it, I was getting called out.
Right. That's like
Really?
embarrassing too. Like they just like put you
Yeah.
on blast. They like blasted your
Oh,
name.
they
So and
did.
so's not here.
Yeah.
Like
Eh,
what the
yeah.
heck?
And I didn't
And
even know you could do that.
all right. Another thing is I know that you and I spoke about this, but someone took your before and after photo and
Oh,
without your name on it. And so this individual that did that, they were also a rep just like you, correct?
yeah, she was actually at the same level as me. She took my before picture was from right when I left Younique, and my face was horrifically just mashed up from that makeup.
Right.
And after learning how to actually apply makeup and actually starting to take care of my face, I posted a before and after, which was markedly different. And I had posted it on my own page and in our team before and after group. Well, the damn picture went viral.
And of course she
And
got the sales from it. Right.
she did. And what she did on top of that was super shady. She not only she took it from my actual wall, which was horrific, but she put her name above it and she didn't even use it that I was a salesperson. And first she had messaged me and said, "Do you mind if I share your photo?" And before she even saw that I agreed to it and said to her, and I showed you all this, I said, "Make sure you say that I'm also a rep." She just took it within seconds.
She didn't even
And
look at the message. That's
she didn't.
she didn't even wait for your answer. She's like, "Oh, do you
She
mind? Let
didn't.
me just do it real quick." Like,
Yeah. And and she sent it, but in the meantime, they went to my post and then they started going to and it was weird how she did it because when she did that, those people started buying from me and they went to my party and she opened a party and then she started accusing me of stealing her customers.
it
And
was your
it
photo
got
though.
it was my photo and it was my post. And so she went and she had another person that was higher up than her, that was her actual upline, go in and start accusing me and was like this insane thing, bad mouthing me that I was stealing her parties and that I had hosted a party under her name, which was insane. So I had to reach out to Limelife and tell them, "Hey, so and so is accusing me of stealing her customers. Can you fix this?" And so it was like a 200 and some odd dollar order that I had to give her to shut her up.
You had to give her that order? Oh
Yes,
my
because it was
gosh.
so much harassment on her part. And then a year later, she did the same thing again and shared my photo.
My
And she said,
gosh.
"Well, I tagged you," but she didn't tag me. And I
Right.
caught it and I screenshot it. And I said, "Really?" And she did it again and made it look like I was a customer of hers.
Oh my
She
gosh.
she did it that way twice. And I'm like,
Right, because
this is false
she wanted
advertising.
all the sales from your before and after, and, of course, Younique is trash, and
Yeah.
with the Lime Life, products, of course, your skin's gonna get better because well, not of course, but, the formula may have been a little bit,
Yeah.
better than the other,
Yeah.
But, with the price that you pay for that skincare, because I've looked
Yeah.
at the prices on these things, and me as an esthetician, you can get, better quality
Yep.
or products that are the same quality for like a fraction of the price you pay, because, of course they have to mark it up because they have to pay people cuts up those uplines, up the
Right.
upline
Right.
of the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
up the pyramid. I'm going to say
Yep. Yep.
it.
And
So,
this girl saw that I was doing really well. I mean, I had made $15,000 in the first 3 months. I had recruited people and I was doing my part. And she thought that she could come in and just sneak and I wouldn't notice. But the thing is when people say, "Hey, so and so just used your picture and your post. She didn't tag you. What's up with that?" And I get her name and I go over to her public comment and I'm like, "What is this?" And she gets all nasty with me and I'm trying to be nice to her. It's like, "Mm-mm, this isn't how this works."
right, right. And, for everyone listening, for her to make that money, I promise you it's very rare. And if you do, other people are losing the money underneath you. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
so, so, so you've been with those two companies, and have you been with any other multi-level marketing companies?
No. And
Okay.
oh god, never again. In fact, if somebody adds me to one and I was just added to one last night and I mean, you see my Facebook page. It says no MLMs. Please don't friend me.
Right.
Please don't add me to them.
Right.
I've had 2 people add me to them since Color Street and then Stella and Dot. Last night I was added to a group, requested to add to a group. Can you not read?
Right.
Can you not? I flat out will decline and then I will block you from adding me to any groups. I don't care if it's baby Jesus on your friend list. I will
Right.
not let you add me to anything at that point
Right.
because you don't have any you know what happened to me. I don't hide from it. I'm adversely
Yeah, you're public
against
about
MLMs.
everything. Yeah.
Yes, and it's
It's
you just don't care.
yeah. See, I don't get cold messages, or I think I was added to or invited to go like into a group maybe like twice within the past 2 years. I'm very fortunate
Mm.
because I
Mhm.
am so outspoken about it, and of
Mhm.
course my bio on my personal page says, anti-MLM. And,
Yeah.
I've also posted things to my page about multi-level marketing companies and how I'm anti-MLM. So that has a huge reason, it's a huge reason why. But,
Right.
um, it's funny because the only DM that I received was about a month ago from an individual who wanted me to do makeup for her daughter's wedding, and she just went to somebody else and had her makeup done. It's crazy because the person she went to is actually in an MLM, of course.
Wow.
But so she reached out to me about this company. She's like, "Do you want to join only for $1? It's $1 this month." I said, "Didn't," so I replied back. I said, "Hey, weren't you supposed to book me for that makeup?" And she's like, "Oh, I thought I told you I wasn't going to." So like I just never responded. Like, "Okay, so you don't want to use me for your makeup. It's been like a year, and then you reach out to me now once you're in, once you are desperate for people to sign up under you." Like, that's really gutsy of
Oh,
you.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so no. Well, I mean, no anyway, but you know. So
Yeah.
um
Oh.
with this, okay, so with and I went over this in my last episode about how they want you to like post certain things, keep your profile public, hide your friends list, and all of that type of thing. So as far as making sure that your profile is public, they want you to,
Mhm.
whenever you post something that's
Yep.
like extravagant, or like you're going to do something or
Oh,
whatever,
yes.
cruise, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it
Yep.
is dangerous. So,
It
and
is.
everyone heard with your story how dangerous it actually is. So,
Yeah.
so tell me how they push you to make sure that you post? Like, what did they tell you, like, as far as posting things and, how you want everyone to see what you're doing, where you're going? Like, what did they tell you about that? Just like to make sure that everyone knew, or like, what did they say?
They wanted you to every time you did a live, they wanted that live not just on your page. They wanted it totally public so that everybody in the world could see how nasty you look from wake up to makeup to finished product. They wanted all public. They wanted everybody in the world to be able to comment on those regardless. They did not want you to restrict people from commenting on them, which, wow, that's a nice, frightful thing to do. So that you could get used to how comfortable you can get on a live. They wanted all of your social media buttons to be public so that anybody could reach you from any step of the way on whatever platform you were on, whether that be Facebook, um, um, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn. Wow, when I see a hun on LinkedIn, I'm immediately blocking you there. That's just crazy. Um, Anywhere else that they can find you. And so, initially I was targeted on Facebook and blocked that individual on Facebook, but it was too late because he already had all of my social media public buttons and he already knew everywhere he could find me. And he already had and was already watching me. He found my WordPress, he had found my Instagram, he had found my LinkedIn, and he was already hot on the trail of every single one of those. And when I figured all that out, it was too late. And I didn't know how to second authenticate my any of my social media. So everything didn't have a second password lock on it. So he knew how to hack every single one of those, and he did. And anytime that you don't have those things locked down, a good hacker will send you a picture or a link or some kind of text, and inside it will contain a malicious code. And if you click on that, you accept that code in whatever app you open it on whatever device. And when you do that, it opens up that code on that device and it promotes that hack. So they gain access to that device and they get all of your passwords and whatever. So when I opened that um, masturbating and his dick pics,
Mhm.
for lack of a better way to put it, on Instagram, he had all the access gained to
So
Instagram.
scary.
And from that point on, he was in everything
Right.
and he had everything. And it
Right.
no matter blocking him didn't matter at that point.
Right. 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 It's
And I
so
didn't know that.
scary. It is so
It is.
scary. I mean, especially like, I mean, it's scary in general, and especially with people like with children who post like the pictures of their, like family photos, because a
Yep.
lot of them do. In fact,
Yep.
like everyone that I know of does. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's scary. This is a scary world we live in, and you just
Yep.
cannot be too careful. Like, like if you were to go like out of town on a vacation, I
Yep.
wouldn't even tell people that I'm going because they know that your
Nope.
house is empty. Like, oh,
Yep.
we can rob their house. And people don't think like that, and they definitely, definitely should. So,
Well, when you share your location, the other two things that people don't think about is when you share your location, like on Instagram, if I'm gonna goof off, I use my Instagram now is not only is it not public, everything's private. If I post a picture, even if it's a picture of myself, and I don't share anything with my kid anymore. If I want to post a location, I pick something goofy that corresponds to the picture, and it'll
right,
be location based, but it's like in Africa or something, and
right,
it's relevant to it's a joke.
yeah,
But I also have removed when I take a picture, I've removed the metadata in the picture so it doesn't capture the location. So if I go into my phone, it doesn't pull up on the Google map. It doesn't pull up where I took that picture because a hacker can access that. Even in an app, when you
right.
post it on media, they can pick that up.
And so ever since this happened, you
Hmm.
have became a social media, or I'm sorry, like an expert
Yeah.
on hacking,
Yeah.
because you I mean, you don't want this to happen to anyone else, and
Nope.
you know about like all the things that they can do.
I do.
So, yeah. So if there's anyone listening who knows someone who is doing this, or if they're doing
Yeah,
it themselves, like what would you tell them to do to make sure that they are safe? Do you have any advice for
definitely.
them?
I do. I first of all, I don't recommend that you post anything public ever. Um, Definitely, I would never post that you're living the high life, because that's the thing that they're looking for. And out there, and I know when I started tracking this guy down, there is a ring of guys out there that this is a game with them, and they have a game. It's called the game. And what they do is they follow social media influencers, and they have a discussion, and it's a fun and game type of thing with them, where they try to uh, engage them in discussions, and they follow them, and they try to get them to talk to them, and they try to have them talk to only them back, engage them back, and they stalk them, and they try to find out where they're at and engage them in mutual how do I want to put this? I don't know how kid friendly this is going to be.
Well, I can put
They
explicit on it, so you can go
Okay.
ahead. Just
Okay.
just say what you want
They
to say.
they want that influencer to engage back in the consensual sexual reciprocating trade of pictures.
Right.
And what they do, if that person would engage back, is they will post them online, and they will sell them, and they will share them amongst each other.
Oh my gosh, it's so
And if and,
disgusting.
and if you don't, they will track you down,
Oh my gosh. This is so
and they will
scary.
and they will rape you. And if you don't figure out a way to get out of it, they'll kill you.
Right. Right. I mean, this goes so deep and this is so scary.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
this is nothing to take lightly. Like this is serious. This is so
This is
serious.
serious.
Yeah.
My
So
my my
go
assault
ahead.
is actually I found my assault. I found it recorded online. It's in the National Archives. I
Oh my
found it.
gosh.
It's actually in a recorded vault, and I found the person who has it stored there,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
cannot get the police to listen to the fact that it's stored there. He has several different rapes stored there in an account. I'm not the first, and
Oh
I
my
won't be the
gosh.
last. This
Right.
guy's a serial rapist, and he has been doing this for fun. And I watch his new Instagram. I shut down the old one for this reason, and
Mhm.
he's now following a bunch of girls at University of California.
Yeah. So whenever this person first added you, I do remember you
Yeah,
saying that he had photos with like celebrities. So you thought that this is a chance to maybe like do makeup,
yeah,
So that is
yeah,
how that's how it's first started. The very first
yep,
time
yep,
and I feel like it could be something like small like that. And then once they get you
yeah,
to engage and you reply, like
yep,
that's it.
yep, yep.
And I mean, it could be anything.
That,
It doesn't even have to be a guy. It could be like another female saying, "Hey, I heard that you sell this product. I'm interested." And of
yeah.
course, people are going to respond back. Once you
Well,
respond back, like that's it. Like
well, this
there's
guy on
ways.
on Facebook, his initial attempt was he messaged me and asked me if my products could actually fix his male acne, and I blocked him because he was using a Russian name, and I blocked him there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
And I
not
had
against anyone that's Russian. It's just that like for
Yeah,
example, I don't know why, but I mean, my Instagram, like I think I've said this before, it was hacked, but I don't think I told
yeah,
anyone. Whenever like I got the email address, it was
mhm,
through a Russian email address. So I think
mhm,
there's a trend with like 'cause I spoke to someone. Well, first of all, Instagram would not take down the account. Like once they were in it,
no,
they were in it, and I
right,
kept reporting it, and I still had
yep,
followers on that account that that I knew personally. So I went on to Twitter and someone responded back and said, oh, my account was hacked too. And I knew it was Russian because it ended in like .ru. So like
Yep.
that's how I knew. And theirs was
Yep.
also in, but I mean, it doesn't have to be in Russia. I mean, they can do this from anywhere,
Right.
from
Yeah.
anywhere. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that was something like similar. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
people, they cannot just trust anyone. So,
No.
I mean, yeah, they can just say, hey, my daughter has acne. They can have a female
Mm-hmm.
profile picture. They can have tons of followers because you can buy followers. I mean,
Right.
easily, easily. So it looks so legitimate. So it's just so dangerous.
Well, the new trend with this guy, and it's the same guy, he continually tries to friend me under fake accounts. And then I block them, and within 1 or 2 days they disappear and they no longer exist. They're totally deleted accounts. And then what he's doing is reusing emails, and then he tries to friend me again.
Wow, it's
And I
crazy.
just don't let him. And I screenshot everything
Mm-hmm.
just to keep it,
Yeah,
because it's been thousands of these since I've blocked him and had him removed.
right.
It's
Telling you.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask you something about with oh, okay. So I don't know if you want to share this, but so you were still with Limelife after this happened, and you guys were in a live chat. I don't know if it was a training or something, and you
Hmm.
commented and said, hey, I don't think y'all should put, where you're at, and you told what happened, and they
Yep.
removed it, which I can see how it would be triggering to some people, but all she had to do is message you and say, hey, could you put trigger warning first, or
Yep.
but it's so important. But y'all were in a closed like chat just with reps, so it wasn't like you were putting it out
Yep.
like all over the place. So can you tell the listeners like what okay, so what happened with that? So you were in the chat.
This, yeah, this was the coming to Jesus for me, and this was the last straw. This is when I quit. My director, whom I was initially under, was having a chat meeting, a team meeting, and was telling the new recruits the whole thing about put everything public, do your lives public, post all your social medias public, given that whole thing, post all your earnings public. And I saw this and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This was the absolute last meeting I sat in. And I typed out there, I don't know that you guys should be doing this. I'm telling you right now, I would, I'm just getting my head screwed back on straight. I was the victim of a kidnapping, rape, strangulation in February 23rd, 22nd, 23rd. My stalker was watching all this. This is how he found me. I don't think you should be telling these new reps about this. You need to tell them to be safe. And I had a couple people underneath it say, oh my God, and called me by name. And that's how I knew this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like the director was oblivious to this. I get a message in private message, like it was the next day,
Mm-hmm.
from my direct upline. Hey girl, I took your message, I took your comment out of the chat because other reps had a similar experience and it was upsetting to them.
Right.
I was like, excuse me. At that point, I took that screenshot of her message and I posted it on my Facebook wall. And I explained to everybody, I will no longer be selling for this company.
Yeah.
This is why they promote knowing that they have people in the group who have had a similar experience to my stalking, kidnapping, and rape.
This
And
is just
they
wild.
took my comment down. They took my comment down instead of protecting us.
Right.
They silenced me.
They
They
don't care
rape
about
shamed
the
me.
reps. They do not care
No,
about the reps. They just
nope,
don't. They don't care
nope.
about them at
And
all.
not one person, which was even more upsetting, not one person that I'm friends or family with commented on my post.
That's
Which was
crazy.
which I get some people don't know how to respond to that stuff, but they also knew what had happened to me. I sent the CEO the most scathing I am through Messenger and told her what exactly I thought of her, and I named off the director, and I sent her a screenshot of what everything, and I told her, "You guys rape shame. You don't protect your reps, and this is the culture you let go on. What kind of women are you?" And I quit, and I was never silent.
Yeah,
And that to me is disgusting.
it is absolutely disgusting. All right. Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to share your story. It is so beyond brave of you. And this, like, we cannot stress enough how important it is not to share your personal life on social media. And these companies, they 100% encourage it. So thank you. I really do
You're welcome.
appreciate it. I really,
You're
truly do
wel
appreciate it.
you're
Um,
welcome.
so, thanks everyone so much for listening to this. And I hope that it makes people more aware of what's going on. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Okay, I have one announcement to make. I now have a club on Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys are on Clubhouse, but I've been on the app. If you don't know what that is, it's a newer app that they have for iPhone users, but they're going to open it up to Android users very soon. And I have created the very first anti-MLM club on Clubhouse. So, if you are anti-MLM and you are on Clubhouse, make sure that you join my club.
In order for me to continue to raise awareness about these companies, please support me, support this podcast, even if that means just sharing it with someone. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Have a great rest of the day.